Hello. I wanted to get on a little bit early here because I gotta send the link out to my people. What's up? Can you guys hear me okay? This old clip is looking a little different right now. Hello. Whoa. Whoa. Where are you going? Hold on a minute. Let me get my stuff together. I got on a little bit early. This isn't supposed to start until 6, but I wanted to be able to send the Periscope link out on the email because people are patiently waiting. I know, it is kind of bright, isn't it? Super orange. Okay. How do you do this? What's up? Are there people just popping in just because they got the notification? There are actually some people who are going to be here that have probably never been on Periscope before and are tuning in for the recap, the live recap that we're doing for book club. Book club, yay! Awesome. So yeah, this will be fun because whether or not you were actually involved this month, it's gonna be a good chat. So hang out for a few. Let me pop this link in here, and then that way everybody knows where to find us. Isn't that funny how that works? Can you guys hear me okay? I didn't feel like putting a microphone in. Morse code, huh? What does that mean? You can't hear me, Holly? That's weird. I don't know why. Is that better? Okay. I don't know why that would be happening, but I don't really have time to care. So that's fine. Okay, cool. Okay. So AWeber is going through such a bummer today. Does anybody in here use AWeber? If you follow me, then you just might. But AWeber and Google aren't getting along today, which really, really sucks. I legit didn't do my hair for this, so thank you for shouting that out. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, so what's happening with AWeber real quick is this is why not only do email platforms have to be good to you as the customer, you have to be good to them. Otherwise, it's like you risk their platform not being credible when you don't send credible emails. So a customer of AWeber was sending out links to malware. So all of AWeber email communications right now are being registered as malware in Gmail. So I don't know. I'm hoping they fixed it. But what are you going to do? The show must go on. Okay, so hearts if you read the book $100 Startup. I got to look at my notes here because there's some housekeeping stuff I have to go over. Whether or not you read it with us this month, if you've read it at all, it's a book by Chris Gillibo. Bam. And I was really excited because I planned on doing a ton of reading this summer, and so I thought it would be really cool to get everybody involved. And so that's sort of how book club came about. And I asked people to share what book they wanted to read, and this one was really popular, and I was so excited because I actually haven't been able to read this book yet. I have read other Gillibo books, but not this one, which is strange. Yeah. I'm in a place with a house phone. I can't even begin to explain that to you. So anyway, I want to say really quickly, if anybody is watching this, and I should probably repeat this in a few minutes, but if anyone is watching this that is not able to participate in Periscope because they can't access the app and the like comments and all that kind of stuff, and they're watching on browser. I'm also watching the SSS Book Club Twitter hashtag. I love that everybody's laughing at the phone right now. So if you have comments, but you can't put them in the Periscope stream because you're watching on a browser, then just put it in Twitter. I'm totally watching on Twitter. Thanks to Nadia for retweeting this Periscope. Dull face. I really appreciate that. Okay. What else did I want to say? Okay, so we have some people in here. Okay, so I just want to I'm still trying to wait a few minutes so that people can actually come in here. If you're just getting in here and whether or not you've done this yet or not, hi JT Webman, good to see you. If you read the $100 Startup, heart it up, and I'm actually curious to see how many people finished it. We extended the deadline by, I think, a week. And what's funny is referencing, I'm sorry, yeah, let me explain that again. I'm probably gonna have to repeat myself a lot in this stream because there's some people that don't know what's going on. So SavvySexySocial.com, we just did like a little summer book club. It's SSS Book Club, and it's totally free. You just sign up to get the email from me and, chime in on what you want to read for the summer. So if you go to SavvySexySocial.com/just book club, SavvySexySocial.com/book club, you can sign up, and it's super easy. It's just, you just get the emails. What's funny is that I thought this was going to be a really quick read for everybody, which is why I ended up extending the deadline, because there's so much stuff to implement throughout that I was like, okay, obviously people were emailing and saying oh my God, I'm almost done. I'm really excited. Thanks for sharing that, Holly. There's the link. I'm really excited to talk about this book, but I'm not done yet because I keep doing stuff. So that's really good because he gives so much implementable advice in this. So if you're just getting here and you don't know what's going on, we're just recapping the book that we read in, what month is it? July? Half of June and July, we read this book, and so we're just recapping. I wanted to do a live recap, and since Periscope has been sort of hot to trot, here we are. So, let me make sure there was no other housekeeping stuff. Okay. Yada, yada. Yep, I said that already. Okay, good. Okay, cool. All right. So for those of you who are here, or if you're not here, but you're watching, say on Twitter with the hashtag, I'd really love to hear what the biggest takeaways were for everybody with this book, and sort of start a conversation around that. Because for me, I personally think that this book, I think they kind of reel you in with the title, right? It's $100 Startup. That sounds amazing. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, is that you can pick up this book and you can literally find out that you can start a business from any passion that you have. And it's all about getting into the right mindset for that and then just executing. So that's really amazing. Holly wants to point out page 180. Good thing I have a hard copy of the book. I love it. We think alike. My tripod is the ghettoest and it keeps moving. Okay. Let me see. Who else in here read the book and has any thoughts? Oh, I remember this. The $35,000 experiment. Very good. Holly, what did you like about that? Is that what you meant? Because it was sort of in the middle of that. Fewer sales, more money. Option 1 versus option 2. So I definitely like that concept. It was talking about raising your prices, right? And the fact that you have to convert less, but more targeted. Is that what you took away from it, Holly? That's a really good one. I didn't even write that one down. That's a really good. There were so many of them in this book, so that's really cool. Thank you for saying that. I totally agree. I think that the reason why this book is so popular and so fantastic is that there are so many stories, testimonials. I mean, yeah, price A/B test. Exactly. Totally. I mean, you A/B test everything else. Why would you not A/B test your pricing? And Holly's also in Social Authority membership, and we definitely have talked about this whole idea of oh, well, why are you pricing it that way? Should you be thinking about this differently? Should you be charging for it at all? You know, when you think about a $47 product, depending on the type of business that you have, if it's a services-based industry and you're selling information products at $47, it's sort of like, okay, well, what's the base level from that? Because $47 to me is quite possibly a free product in return for an email address, because it might just be a little bit more valuable to have the contact information over a set period of time to be able to pitch future products that are potentially more expensive, but regardless of that, just more valuable. So I loved that they talked about A/B testing or pricing. I don't like, who talks about that? Like, where do you even hear that? That's amazing. Pay to come into my sales funnel. Exactly. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. I definitely liked something earlier on in the book, and I really like that you brought that one up, but I want to go to something a little bit more basic. I really liked the decision-making matrix. Oh, I should tell you the page number since we're being really, I can't get this stupid thing to stop moving, which is so annoying. Anyway, the decision-making matrix, which was really nice because it was basically saying, how can you take into consideration all these things that you're making a decision on and measure impact versus effort versus profitability versus vision, and really kind of rank everything accordingly so that you're not trying to do all things all the time. I don't know if you guys connect. Thank you, Holly. I don't know if you guys connect on that, but I think that's so huge for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, small business owners, that when I love the page support, guys. You guys are amazing. Page 86. Love it, love it, love it. So they talked about this, and just like ranking your decisions in this matrix, that is tremendous because we can get so scatterbrained and so ADD about the things and decisions that we decide to make. And that was a big one for me. I wrote that one down to share with you. I don't see any tweets, so I'm like trying to like cover all my bases here. So if you're just coming in, hearts, if you read this book, we're talking about the fact that we read this book. How meta. Stickies and highlight. I know. I have a really hard time marking up books. I do like to hold them, but I don't really like to write in them. I would rather I take pictures of pages all the time, and then write Evernotes to myself. Like send the picture to Evernote, take additional notes there, just because I don't know why. Yay, Catholic Mom figured out her internet. Did you read the book, Catholic Mom? Raw Talk with Jen. Hi, Jen. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen your face in forever. I just barely noticed it with that green filter. How are you? Okay, so and I forgot to mention that I do have the upcoming book to announce at the end of this stream, so pay attention. Yay. Catholic Mom, what was your biggest takeaway for the $100 startup, if you can just sum it up really? Oh, go girl. I was just thinking that too. I was like, God, as much as I love holding a book, I really love listening on Audible when I can, because it is so much easier to consume. Hello, stop moving, camera. Is anyone in here a participant and tried to read the book but maybe didn't get all the way through it, maybe got distracted with stuff to do? Hearts if that's you. Just to get started, do something. Exactly. I totally love that you said that, because that's what I said my biggest takeaway was. Like, they reel you in with the title. It's like, oh, $100 startup, and that's like all fine and good. Susan got it started. At least you started it. That's good. But it really just says like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing with your talent, your knowledge, your skill set, and why can't you make something out of that and make a business that complements your life and not the other way around? So, another one. Good upsell isn't sleazy. Page 191. Love it. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, 191, I want to pull that one up really quick because I didn't write that one down either. I like that we wrote different things down, Holly. Okay. Institute a new upsell. Yeah. Adding a good upsell offer or several is probably the easiest and most powerful strategy you can use to ramp up your average order size. It's so true. How many times do you like go to an e-commerce site? Great example of this if any females in the house use skincare, which you should. Since you were 20, you should have been. But my mom introduced me to Clinique when I was just a wee girl. And when you go to their website, I tell you what, they are upselling you all the time, but they do it really strategically in that they'll recommend stuff, but they will also give you stuff for free. They're like, by the way, since you spent this much, like you qualify for a couple of these really small items and you should try them out. And then you get hooked on new stuff you didn't even know existed. And then all of a sudden it's upsell, upsell. So if you can do that with product and e-commerce, why can't you do that with other things? And it's not sleazy if you're actually solving a problem, if that is your product. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. Starbucks is great at that through their social media pics. That's true. That's true. I need to pay more attention to what Starbucks is doing on social. I just pay attention to how they make coffee and I use their app and that's about it. I love it. Another section that I liked, and this was later in the book, just specifically because of how it was done, was the talk about fear of failure. And there were just so many stories. It was just like, let's talk about failure, you know? And the opening quote, I believe, was Steve Jobs. What I liked about that was it wasn't like, let's just talk about failure and why you should stop being so afraid of it. It was just like, here are some stories about failure. And you just sort of like take it. It's just sort of like, how do you sit in that failure and just understand it and then move past it? And that was what I really liked about that section, because you're reading this book and you're thinking, okay, yeah, I definitely want to do something and I'm going to make a business out of it. Okay, and now it's telling me to do this and it's telling me to do that. Okay, I'm going to do all that. But like, what happens if I can't support my family? What happens if I can't do this? What happens if nobody wants my stuff? What happens? You know, what happens if I just picked a price, I did an A/B test and then it failed and then I don't know what to do? I mean, there's so many things you can think of when it comes to people being concerned about failure or just even going through a failure and being afraid of seeing that again. It was a really good section. Did anybody get that far? I was going to say that heart if you got that far. Can we just talk about how ridiculous this cup is? I mean, this is what they call a large. I think it was because they were probably told to get rid of the extra large because it causes obesity, so they just took the extra large and made it a large. Page on the failure. Let me find it. Doot. I don't. Oh yeah, I get it. I get it. I actually don't run on Dunkin'. I was just giving it a try today. It is a very large beverage. It was a whole chapter. Can you look up the chapter, Holly? Because I don't remember. It was later in the book. Because once they pump you up and you start to have concerns. Oh, maybe it wasn't a whole. Oh, yeah. Chapter 14, 244. Yay. Let's just go to that really quickly. Steve Jobs, I was right. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Jeez, that's a great one. So if you're just coming in, we're talking about the $100 startup. Thanks for asking, DM Istro33. Or was it like DM Istro? Spelled funny. I liked that one. Oh, did you guys read the section about the new demographics? I thought I was going to die when I read that. I was like, oh my gosh, like how did I not think to explain this way? Because it's so funny that we are actually, we are doing this in all actuality, but I don't know if it was so eloquently explained. Yay, I'm glad you loved this, girl. Okay, so versus like the whole conversation about, oh, my target audience is 35 to 45-year-old females who have a family and they have kids and they're, I don't know, I guess like income, race, location, that kind of thing. Like, that is the demographic that we are currently very well aware of. Jen, I hope you do get this book because it's very good. But he was talking about the new demographics. Chris was talking about the new demographics: interests, passions, skills, beliefs, values. I mean, I can absolutely say that my target demographic at SavvySexySocial.com, if you were going to go into, let's say, my YouTube analytics, because that's some of the most scientific in terms of a person's makeup, because you do have to enter so much information in terms of being a YouTube viewer or a subscriber, it's like all over the map. All over the map. I mean, probably the most engaged in my comments is female, but most viewed is, you know, larger percentage is male. I mean, like, it's all over the place. And that can say different things about different whatever. And location is all over the map as well. I mean, if you wanted to compare the United States versus the UK, the state of California watches my channel by far the most out of anyone in the entire United States, but, you know, England beats that out. But so my audience is all over the place. I'm just, what are you supposed to say? I help everyone in the world? No, I don't. Like, that, you can't say that, right? I love that they talk about the new demographics because it's the characteristics of the person, not necessarily the makeup of the person, that defines how they like the content, the product, the brand. And so interests, passions, skills, beliefs, I mean, like, that section, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Let me find that page because it's pretty, oh, actually I had such a hard time finding it earlier. Let me see. Do you know where it is, Holly? It was earlier in the book. I love that she's like my community manager. She's like my book community manager. Yes, every 30-year-old mother of 3 is not the same. Exactly. This is the book we're talking about, if you're asking. I'm trying to find a page. Okay, I can't find the page, but it's fine. I basically said it. But I think that there is actually a chapter on demographics, and it was in there. So that was, yeah, the new it's the whole chapter. Chapter 5. I should just start looking in this thing called I don't even know what it's called. Okay. 74, page 74. And then the other thing that I took a picture of and implemented a bajillion times was the 1-page business plan. Hearts if you saw that. I mean, because who doesn't, I mean, just the idea of a business plan by itself is so overwhelming. So overwhelming. So to say like, oh, you should get started, go ahead, don't overthink the business plan, you can do it in 1 page, here's how you do it, fill in the blanks. Hello, that's good. That's good stuff. That's really good stuff. So those were the things that I really wanted to point out about this book. Yes, you do. You need a loose plan. That's true. A lot of people will come out, I mean, especially people that follow my channel, it's delegate. I like that. That's a good takeaway. Otherwise, yeah, exactly. World Domination Summit. I've been wanting to go to that conference forever. I just haven't been able to get out there. That's Chris Guillebeau's event. Obviously, we know how good this book is now. His event is phenomenal. And it's so crazy how it's not gotten too out of control. So that's really fun. What is your unique selling position? Ooh, I like that, page 140. That's a really good, I really like that you mentioned that. Let me see if I can pull that up really quick. I am not planning on going to DC in August, but that sounds fun. Are you going? Are you going, Holly? Are you going to that? 140? Is that what it was? 39-step product launch checklist is what I see. No way, Holly. Well, if you're going to be there, girl. That's true. USP can make or break you. That's a really good takeaway. Because I think a lot of people compare themselves to competitors for all the wrong reasons, girl. And USP is definitely one that you should be looking at instead. Really, really good takeaways, guys. I'm impressed. Y'all read the book and everything. I'm excited. Love it. Jen, did you get the book? Oh my gosh. Also, join book club because we're gonna read another really good one next month. How do you make money with your business? That's a good question. I sell product and services. Have you ever been to my website? Woo! SavvySexySocial.com. I help on a more scalable way with small businesses with the membership group. And I also have like a mastermind consultancy that is all action based, but that's not open to the public because you have to apply, and it's only if I really like you and I think you'll actually do the work that I will actually work with you. So, thank you, Jen. It is SavvySexySocial.com/book club. It's literally just the email list. So you can get the updates about this live recap and the book we're reading. Speaking of that, if I can get my camera to stop moving. Thanks, Holly. Have you ever looked at the blog that converts? Is that the name of something? If you want to look into Social Authority membership group, which Holly is a part of, I think that's everybody that's in the room right now. It's SavvySexySocial.com/membership. So essentially we get together on a weekly basis in the Facebook group and have office hours, but you can also sort of like chime in whenever you want and get feedback from everybody. That's just when I make myself available, is on Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern, and answer questions. I also do a live Q&A, like similar to this, but we use a private platform. We don't use Periscope. And also we do like live trainings. So this month, actually Thursday, I'm bringing in Sarah Conley, who's from styleitonline.com, and she's going to talk about Media Kit, building out sort of stuff, like actually attracting partnerships with brands that will make them want to partner with you. So I'm very excited about that because I just saw her present that at a corporate gig that we were both speaking at, and it was really good information. So she's going to be presenting this Thursday. And in previous months, I've done things like an email marketing course, and before that, we had Matt Kimberly talking about working yourself solid. So JDRKX, SavvySexySocial.com/membership. And my mastermind consultancy is not currently open, but you can send me an email and try to sway me into thinking that you should join. So that's a lot of it, but I also sell Addictive Video for Business as my flagship video product, so I make money that way. I have a couple of different irons in the fire, including YouTube cuts me a check once a month, which is really nice of them. I feel like I'm jiggling the table here. Anyway. Okay, back to the point. Thank you for asking about my business. The next book, are you all ready for this? Let's do a heart drum roll. How about that for an idea? Oh, thanks. I like to be honest. It's working for me lately. Actually, I've been horribly honest lately. Okay. So the next book, thank you for that beautifully colorful drum roll, is by very, very popular demand and very fortunate for me. I'll get back to that in a second. Is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And Hal Elrod is actually going to be speaking at Tropical Think Tank in 2016, which is an event that I just spoke at last May. The Miracle Morning, the not so obvious secret guaranteed to transform your life. So what's really funny about this is I did a video semi-recently. Actually, if you go to SavvySexySocial.com/Miracle Morning Book, can somebody type that in, please? That is my affiliate link to go buy the book, so you'll be supporting the website if you buy it that way. Just letting you know, I'm trying to make it easy for you, and also just all the things. Yay, we have a TTT person in the house. Chris, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Hal Elrod will be speaking at TTT next year, and I did a video kind of recently about my morning routine, because I always used to say, like, I'm not a morning person. I just like to be up at night and all this kind of crap. Thanks for coming, Jen. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Miracle Morning Book, Holly. What was I saying? Crap, too many things. The comments. Oh, I did a video about my morning routine, and it's funny because it was Hal Elrod that talked me into it, but I haven't read the book. I haven't read this book, but he did like a, I guess it was a blog post that was something along the lines of, it was like snooze proof. snooze-proof miracle morning. And I was like, we'll see about that. We will see about that. And it really freaking worked, like in a real way, in a very, very real way. So real that, I was waking up at 5 and then I was like, okay, 5 o'clock isn't early enough. Like I've been waking up at 4:30 for the last few weeks, and that's crazy to think about. And suddenly I love going to bed early. It's sort of my heaven in a lot of ways. Love it. Oh, he was on the SPI podcast. That's really unsurprising. What did I hate about this book? I'm not BSing you. This is a really good book. Do you like how the color changes when I do that? I'm kind of like doing my own like filter situation here. I really, really don't think there was anything in this book I didn't like. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Because the thing is, for me, I think there's a lot of stuff in this book that I already know. So there's that. But this is a tremendous amount of information for somebody that's like, I have no idea how to get started. And this guy, Chris Guillebeau, like he really, really keeps it real. And he doesn't half-ass anything. And that's why, World Domination Summit is such a huge deal, and it's not getting to a point where people are like, oh, World Domination Summit's getting too big or too crazy or too this or too that. He really, really keeps it very valuable. And so that's why I can't really say anything bad about this book. I just can't. I support. So that's my story. Very excited about reading The Miracle Morning now that I already do it. Maybe I can make myself better. He was on One Day BB. Really? That's interesting. Why would he be on One Day Business Breakthrough? Oh, he was there. He was at the event. He was speaking at the event. That's right. He's a smarty pants. Chris Ducker really likes him. And Chris was like, you need to speak at my event. We're talking about Hell Rod. Anyway, SavvySexySocial.com/Miracle Morning Book. Pick up the book, The Miracle Morning. We're going to read it. We're going to recap it right around this time next month. And you have plenty of time to read it, and maybe even plenty of time to start implementing that, waking up early. I feel like that's what's going to be so fun about recapping this book is like, here's what he said. Here's what is still totally not working for me. Like, here's why I'm still not waking up early. Or here's why I'm waking up early, but I'm still getting distracted, like digital detox, all that kind of stuff. So if you go to SavvySexySocial.com/book club, you'll be signed up for the updates for book club. But if you just want to get the book right now, SavvySexySocial.com/Miracle Morning Book. But I'm going to send that out now to the whole list. So book club is definitely where you want to stay tuned for the rest of the summer. We've only read one book so far. This is sort of like a beta test about like a book club going forward whatsoever, if we're even to do that. I just sort of wanted to do it for summer because I think people can get into summer book club. But we'll definitely do a third book in September, and that will be the end of summer, if that makes sense to anybody. So when you join, make sure that you send in your suggestion for a book that you want to read so that we can consider it and say like, oh, wow, that'd be a good book for September. But The Miracle Morning will be our August book. So that's going to do it for me. And then think about going to bed because I'm real excited about that, actually. I'm kind of sleepy. So thanks to all of you who came. Oh, Holly, girl, you are going to like the Marketing Lifestyle Show in the near future. Girl, not just because of you either. Holly's going to be a guest on the Marketing Lifestyle Show soon. But I'm actually going to be speaking with the author of The Membership Economy for the podcast. That's breaking. We haven't even had the interview yet. But I scheduled it out a little bit because as I'm reading the book club books, I want to read that book because I'm not going to be picking that for book club. I just think that book club is here. Sam is like here. TMLS is here. So I want to read that book on my own so that I can sort of ask relevant questions on the podcast, get people to read the book as well. And honestly, I was thinking about asking SAM members to ask questions. Holly, I got to talk to you about that. I want to ask the membership group to ask questions for that specific interview and make it exclusive to Sam so that they can ask her questions, because I think the idea of the membership group and recurring revenue is so relevant to Sam that it makes sense to have those people help me come up with the best questions for her. So, and I sent you an email earlier today about this other thing. So yeah, so totally want to bounce that idea around. You can remind me to post that in the Facebook group, because clearly I have just now said that out loud. So, okay, that's all, guys. I really appreciate you watching this scope with me, whether or not you were part of book club or not, or if you want to join. Really appreciate the feedback. I just I just broke the Moleskine notebook that I'm borrowing from somebody. Oops. So that's fun. I will catch you on the email for book club, and we're gonna get all Miracle Morning like crazy. This is a very distracting way to do live stream, but I can't help but love it. So thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it. Hold on, let's do the filter thing one more time. This evening I'm gonna go get some chow